Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back to another SLA video. That's right, we have Fern and the buff for Frieren. We're going to break down the full thing. And look at this, guys. My free-to-play account. I am broke as hell, but I went and summoned for her. That should kind of tell you where we're at with this character. And if I went ahead and summoned for her, why I did it, probably gives you guys a pretty good idea. Now, before I continue with the video, guys, the usual, I want to give you guys the free opportunity here to support your boy. It's absolutely free. Get yourself some free codes, guys. Jump on the support program, hit that support button. I'm sending out 2 active codes on a daily basis. Get yourself those free codes, more codes on the way, and we'll talk more about this character and everything else that this character brings to the table, and it's quite a bit. So get ready to blow your minds on how good she is. All right, so first off, yes, I did summon on my free-to-play. How much summons did it take? 190. I had tickets. I got lucky. I left, and just so everyone's aware, I did use my free, I saved my free selection for this specific moment where I can see which unit's better, and I decided to go for Fern, and I'm going to show you guys why. Okay, so first off, let's go over our spreadsheet, and you guys can check the full live stream of testing if you want, and we'll cover everything from top to bottom. So first off, let's start off with the beginning things. Let me just quickly refresh this so the pictures pop up. There it is. All right, so we did 3 different sets for her. First one we did is A-Piece Infamy. All right, the following stats are right here. You guys can see we did with, we had, what, 46,000 attack. Crit rate was perfect. Crit damage was good and high. Defense penetration, damage increase was low. And then we did one with Expert Set, which had a little bit more attack power. And then also had the similar amounts of defense pen and everything else pretty much maintained, except for the crit damage went down a bit. But the attack did go up at 48k, okay? Just so everyone's aware. We also tested with Armed as the main set versus Infamy, and we'll talk more about those numbers. All right. A0 numbers, 316,000 in 1 minute. A1 numbers, 997,000. That's right, or 997 million. I apologize. I'm diminishing those numbers quite a bit. 316 million, 997 million, and it's triple the amount of damage from going from A0 to A1. Crazy. So then we went to A3, and you guys can see the numbers already went up quite a bit, almost 500 or 400k-ish, a little close to 400k. So that was pretty big. And then we jumped to A10, and you guys can see the numbers pretty much doubled. Yes, she is that broken. She is absolutely broken. This character is the mecca of DPS at the moment in the game. And this is her alone on the bear. Okay. So then what I did is we did A10 numbers with 3 minutes instead of 1 minute. You guys can see in 3 minutes, we pretty much made sense because she functions pretty much the same way throughout the entire thing. And I'll show you guys how she works in the game and how you want to run her. So A10, 2.6, 3 in 1 minute. In 3 minutes, we did 7.6. Now we took Infamy out and we added in Expert to see what the difference was in 3 minutes. Of course, longer battles equals more attack increase, and of course, the numbers did go up quite a bit with 3-minute fights. 4 Infamy, 4 Expert did insane amounts of damage. Okay, so just so you guys are aware. Now this video will also talk about Frieren's buffs as well too, and I can show you guys the comparison between Frieren back there versus now. Okay, so then we started doing some guild boss runs. All right, now A-Piece Infamy with Guild Boss without my interference at all. This is the numbers here: 8.329 billion for Fern with A-Piece Infamy, 4-Piece Infamy, and 4-Piece Expert 8.6. So they're very, very close, guys. You guys can see Yuki did great, Stark did great, and Frieren doubled her damage from before. So old Frieren test numbers, if you want to see them, she was doing about 1.314, 773. You guys can see 1.4 over here, right, etc. So the numbers were pretty good before. Now the numbers are doubled. So Frieren is actually destroying it for DPS as a support DPS now. So much, much better numbers for her. And yes, she is worth summoning, but is she better than Fern? I decided to go with Fern because I'd rather have a top-end DPS than have a top-end support for my fire units because I feel like fire is kind of losing that sparkle with their DPS versions, right? So now we went down a little bit, guys, and we compared Cha. So Cha got a buff as well too. She did 6.9, which is not bad. Frieren did fairly well, and Shuha did fairly well. But again, we went ahead then and did a little bit of an adjustment. We took Frieren out of the fire team and we threw Choi in. Now with Choi's defense shred, it gave more of a DPS increase to Fern at 9.2. All right, you guys can see 9.2. Everyone else stayed pretty much the same. Actually, everyone else went down, but she went up quite a bit. And then we did another run here, and she got 10.25. This time with both Frieren and Choi in the team, we removed Stark. So overall, we had a DPS loss because Stark does quite a bit of damage, but her numbers went up because Frieren supported, and so did Choi. Okay, so Choi and Frieren are great supports for her. Now, we went ahead and added in Armed and Expert instead, and you guys can see the numbers skyrocketed 10 to 12. Much better numbers. Armed is more preferable in this run because obviously defense penetration is better for this guild boss. All right. Now I put myself into the mix as a support Sun Jinwoo. Normally you don't usually use support Sun Jinwoo for fire. You use DPS one, but we did 26 there, 24 there with this setup here. And the difference here was that Choi was added in this fight, which did 26 for her. And then this fight, we removed Choi because somebody wanted to see how Yoo Se-yoon looked in the fight, and we did 6.5. Okay, so you guys can see right there, those are the numbers, and she is absolutely broken. So the question becomes, how do you use this character? How do you function with her, etc.? So the character usage is very simple, guys. So this is the run here that we did with the bear. So essentially what you want to do is you want to do skill 1 into core. And then once you do your core, you go into skill 2. Okay, now the way this MP works, and you guys can see the MP goes really low. The reason why Obsidian won't work well for her is she runs out of MP very quickly, but every 30 seconds because of her weapon, she goes back to full MP. So in a couple seconds, you're going to see her MP is going to just skyrocket back. There it is. And you guys can see right back to the same rotation. So essentially what it is skill 1, core, skill 2, core, skill 1, core, skill 2, core, ultimate, rinse and repeat. Essentially, that's exactly how it works. Now, the beauty of this character is the simplicity behind it. If a character is simple, the AI plays smart, and the AI just does better. You guys can see the numbers are just going up there, right? And if the AI plays smarter, because the AI is playing smarter, it makes the overall experience for that unit a lot better, right? So overall, guys, she is probably going to be the best DPS in this game right now. Now, I'm going to bring up, is Frieren worth it versus her? It depends on your account. My account, I don't have a very good DPS. Kanae is kind of losing, like I said, her luster. Yuki's a great breaker, and I already have Stark. So I decided, you know what? Instead of going for support, I'm going to add one more layer to my fire team and give them the DPS they deserve. And now the reason why I say this is because I feel like in hard mode, WOBL, I feel like Fern is going to be the top DPS for that fight. Now, Christopher Reed, I know this is going to be a topic everyone's going to bring up. I don't want people to assume, and I don't have any leaks or anything. I'm just saying, I don't want people to assume that Christopher Reed is going to actually end up becoming a fire DPS. Yes, a lot of you guys are basing it on the Manhwa. He was in the Manhwa stills for like 3 stills, guys. He did use fire, but he's also a light fragment of light as well, which means we know fragment of lights can also be light DPS. Now, just to play devil's advocate here, the last light DPS we got, guys, besides the collab Meiyun, was Thomas in the 6-month anniversary. It has been over a year since we have a proper light DPS. So chances are we may see Laura be a light support and not necessarily support Thomas only, but probably be the support that Christopher Reed needs in the future. So right now, as it sits, guys, Frieren is incredible, great DPS, good support. The buffs really did help her, but I think the star of the show right now is going to be Fern. I think Fern is the no-brainer here. And again, another thing, just a little devil on your shoulders, is that these units are no longer going to be available once they're gone, right? Christopher Reed will be added to the custom list as well, so treat it like you would Sung Il-hwan, where a lot of you guys skipped him because you knew that he'll be added eventually to the custom banner. That's the way I'm looking at it, and I think for me personally, it's a no-brainer with the amount of damage this unit does. I think it's unwise not to go for Fern, but that's just my take. I decided on my free-to-play to go for her, hence why you guys see me having her here at A5, and I think that was the wisest decision I could do for my account. It doesn't necessarily mean that's the wisest decision for your account, but I'm just here to give you numbers. What you do with those numbers, guys, as usual, and I always say this, is up to you. Whether you decide you want it or not is your call. But there's the numbers. She is by far the best DPS that Fire has ever introduced, and maybe the top DPS in the entire game by a long shot. So, hope that helps you guys out. Now, in terms of artifacts, as I mentioned, the best ones for the guild boss is Armed and Expert. For normal modes, it's gonna be Infamy and Expert. And if you decide you don't want to use Expert, you go 8-piece Infamy. That's probably the best one overall. Or you can try using Curse as well. So 4-piece Infamy and 4-piece Curse. Now, for cores, I know a lot of you guys are gonna ask those questions. So let's go over the cores real quick, as that is an important one as well. So for core perspective, the way it works for cores is simple. Let me go back to her. The best cores for her, because the amount of time she does her core attacks, is going to be this core here. You want to use that with as much defense pen. The second one here, you can do whatever you like. Quite honestly, the best choice is probably getting a shield with the ultimate, because she does get her ultimate fairly often. And then the last one over here, I would say put this. Now, in regards to like what stats to go with, whatever you need to fill. Crit damage, defense pen, damage increase. Your choice. Still flat attack, guys. Still flat defense. Percentage HP works as well, or flat HP. It's up to you on that one, depending again on your units. HP percentage usually works a little bit better, but it's your call. And then from there, Bob's your uncle, boys. Blow it up. Have fun, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Remember to like, subscribe, hit that notification button, and remember to support your boy. Love you guys. Have a great night. Peace out.